Hello and welcome back to the NNP Symposium Day 2. This hour we are joined by Delmar Mineard Jr., who is a member of ANA, NGC, CAC, and NOW, specifically the Numismatists of Wisconsin. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Matthew.
All right. Well, for those attendees in the audience, remember you can use your Q&A feature to submit questions throughout the presentation. We're going to hold those until the very end. But without further ado, I'm going to let Delmar take it away. If you need any help with anything, just let me know. I'll be on standby.
All right, thank you. Oh, a little technical glitch here a second. There we go. Good morning, and thank you for joining this virtual presentation sponsored by NNP. This presentation will cover how to expand collecting to younger generations. This is really an important topic if we are to develop new collectors to allow coin collecting to survive in the digital age. It's no mystery that people aren't interested in coin collecting as in previous decades, especially the younger generation. A 14-year-old collector recently stated on a YouTube broadcast that he was convinced that the younger generations believe coins and coin collecting is just for old people. Ouch, that really hurts. He went on and said that even his friends are saying this. To me, this is exactly the reasons why the hobby isn't expanding to kids and young adults. We need to avoid the stereotypes that make the hobby sound intimidating to people who don't have the knowledge. To fix a problem, we must first understand what is causing the problem. Besides being intimidating, the hobby is not promoted as well as it could be. You can turn on the TV and watch sports, movies, but the odds you're not going to find a program on coins or coin collecting. Promoting our hobby is difficult for coin clubs unless there is a marketing strategy in place, which most clubs do not have that strategy in place. According to ANA, the average age of a coin collector is 59 years old and rising. It's not a terribly attractive demographic for growth. One only needs to look at what has happened to the interest in stamp collecting to become alarmed for the future of our hobby. The real issue, according to several articles that I've read, is that there is minimal interest to individuals from ages 10 to 30. We have to find a way to get the younger people away from their electronic devices. The numismatics community cannot beat social media, so we have to join them. Any strategy to attract young people will need to include all forms of electronic media. The internet is the obvious channel, but no stone should be left unturned in the battle for attention of young people who may one day become coin collectors. The ANA has committed considerable resources towards this effort. Others in the hobby will need to follow suit. That includes collectors, dealers, coin clubs, and anyone with a stake in seeing our hobby grow. So why is this really important? The answer is simple. For our investments to be profitable, the size of the market is crucial. If the industry were to shrink considerably, as we have seen with stamp collecting, there will be fewer buyers for our coins when it comes time to sell. The opposite is true if the hobby grows. And the same thing, if you want to pass this on to your grandchildren or your children, they really don't have that interest. There will be stiff competition and prices will rise if the hobby grows. We must think about the long-term growth when it comes to our hobby. There is too much attention to short-term profits instead of growing the hobby and focusing on our own collections. Now let's talk about the next topic. What has the U.S. Mint done to grow the hobby? Back in 2018, when the U.S. Mint held their annual symposium with their 15 largest bulk dealers, the key focus of the discussion was, what can the U.S. Mint and the bulk dealers do to help promote and support the young and new collectors? Since they felt the hobby was declining, there were several agreements that came out of that meeting. One solution was to encourage roll searching, which is the essence of true collecting, by finding coins to fill the holes in albums. The Mint agreed to consider ways to encourage roll searching. The solution was the minting of 200,000 of the 2019 W Washington quarters, mixed into rolls of Denver and Philadelphia quarters. Of course, this is the only way to find that 2019 W quarter. And that was fairly successful. B, design special kid sets for children that provide an educational experience. Children and young collectors like learning the history of coins, which I can confirm that my own 11-year-old granddaughter, who loves hearing how a coin ties to history. This discussion with the bulk dealers led to the release of many new coins and currency sets in 2019 and 2020, as you will see in the upcoming slides. You must create a unique opportunity to spark interest in coin collecting. The solution was the inclusion of the 2019 W pennies in proof, reverse proof, and uncirculated coin sets, and the 2020 W nickels in the proofs and the silver proof sets. Many other options were discussed at that meeting and documented for further exploration. The Mint agreed to take these ideas back to their internal teams for further discussion. As you know, some of these ideas were implemented, and the Mint surprised the bulk dealers with several new items that came out of the discussion at the annual symposium. The Mint has useful information posted on their website for the younger collector and for teachers. From the home page of the U.S. Mint website, look for the Learn menu button, click on it, and you'll see a number of submenus titled For Kids, For Educators, Coin and Metal Programs, For Collecting Basics, For History, and For Artists. Within these submenus, you will find sections on coins, library, collecting, videos. In fact, there are 21 videos on the website. And there you'll also find a section for games for kids. And do some exploring, and you'll find that there is a section that has drawings. So if you have young grandchildren or young collectors, you can actually print off copies of the coins for the kids to color. There's some really great stuff listed under each of these drop-down menus. Here are two great examples of what the Mint has for young collectors. The first one on the left shows how coins circulate, and the second on the right identifies the parts of a coin. The Mint has just done a really good job with their graphics. So let's take a look in more detail at what the Mint has released in 2019 and 2020 for the young collectors, or what some people call YC. The Mint looked at currency produced by the Bureau of Engraving and jointly developed several kids sets based upon currency or currency and coinage. These releases were targeted at children and new collectors. Over the next several slides, we'll look at these sets in the order of their release. This is the 2019 American Founding Fathers set. One of the sad things is the low number of sets that were sold. Notice that at the bottom of the slide. The US Mint had a great idea when they developed the Rocket Man set for the young collector. However, they included a Kennedy clad half dollar struck at the Denver Mint rather than including a clad half dollar struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Once the word got out that that was the only way to collect the Denver Mint Kennedy was to buy the set, the seasoned Kennedy collector got involved and the price soared on the secondary market. The Rocket Man set sold out at the Mint in 10 days. Flippers immediately posted these Rocket Man sets on eBay for $30. A few weeks later, they peaked at $70. The current price on eBay is $20. And considering that that's only double the initial issue price and they're sold out at the Mint, it's still a good buy. Many collectors have since pulled the Kennedy half from these sets and sent them to the grading companies, and they are now selling for $100 to $150 on the secondary market. I bought one the first day they were on sale, and then when I realized the significance of the Denver struck Kennedy, purchased 2 more for my grandchildren. This was one of those surprises in 2019 that was targeted at the new and/or young collector. Just look at all the history in this inexpensive kids set. Also, I was pleased with the, this time, look at the limit. The Mint released 50,000 of these sets, and they are still available on the website. The US Mint also worked with the Bureau of Engraving on several new sets. This one sold out quickly in 2019. This is a beautiful set, and again, includes a coin and a dollar bill. Lots of history for that young collector. This was the last set issued in 2019 for the young collector. Again, a fair amount of history with really nice graphics, definitely targeted for the young collector. Here's another example of a currency set with lots of history for children. Note the very low number manufactured. Unfortunately, I failed to order this set when it was released, and a few days later when it was sold out. So I bought mine 2 weeks later at a gift shop at the Bureau of Engraving facility in Fort Worth, Texas, when we were on vacation last year prior to the COVID-19 shutdown. It really is a beautiful set. And just from the sales clerk told me the one I bought was the next to the last one, and that they would not be getting any more. So a very limited edition. This is another coin set targeted for our young collector, the 2020 Basketball Hall of Fame Commemorative Coin Program, which celebrates the 60th anniversary of the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, with a collection of curved coins, concave, convex, including a special keepsake just for kids. The basketball set is targeted for the kids. The coin was struck at San Francisco Mint, where they used a laser to polish certain areas of the die to create an enhanced finish. This curved, enhanced half-dollar coin is only available from this set. The photo shows the sleeve that holds the folder together. The US Mint sold 22,563 of these kids sets. So the price on the secondary market is high, principally due to the enhanced finish of the curved half dollar. After you remove that outer sleeve and you open up the folder, this is what the set looks like. Beside all the information on each on the inside of each flap, the encapsulated coin slides to the shooter on the right when the folder is tilted in that direction. And when you tilt it to the left, it slides to the hoop on the left. On the back of the folder is a quiz for kids. And personally, I think this is one of the best sets released in the past 3 years, targeting for children and youth and young collectors. This is going to be a continuing, the Mint is going to be continuing releasing different sets through the next couple of years. I think the impact of COVID on their capacities may have some impact on what we see this year. The Basketball Hall of Fame Commemorative Coin Program Series celebrated the 60th anniversary of the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame and drew lots of interest by all generations when it was released June 4th of 2020. It's available in gold, silver, and clad compositions. These exquisite concave, convex basketball coins are really liked by children. So let's take a brief look at that coin program. These are the first 6 coins launched last year. Demand for the coins never met the U.S. Mint's expectation, but they are attractive to young collectors. Although not put into circulation, a couple of these basketball coins are reasonably priced, and those would be the clad, the bottom 2, the clad $50 and the clad proof. Clad unk and the clad proof. These are the last 3 coins that make up the basketball coins. The Mint has a huge success when they launched the baseball curved coins in 2014, but the basketball commemorative program just did not live up to the demand for the baseball or to the 2019 50th anniversary of the First Man on the Moon commemorative coin program, which was also a curved coin. So now let's talk about some of the ANA initiatives. Both the Mint and ANA have done a lot to attract new collectors, especially the YCs. So let's discuss the wide range of resources and initiative that ANA has to offer. The future of our hobby deals with youngsters. The American Numismatic Association tries to do their part by fostering a lot of programs for youngsters. ANA calls the young numismatics YNs. The most popular program is their Coins for A's. Any youngster who earns 3 or more A's in a marking period can submit their report card to ANA and receive a world coin. The challenge of the YNs to learn is to really learn as much about the countries that minted the world coins. The really nice thing about the program is when you submit your very first report card, not only do they send a world coin, but they send an application for a free 1-year membership in ANA. YN is designated for the children from ages 5 to 17. Coin Club can do something similar to engage the local new collectors. For 12-year-olds and older and under, ANA has a program called the Dollar Project. In this program, you complete several activities and you'll earn $1 each time that you complete the activity. You can earn a presidential dollar or an Eisenhower dollar, and once in a while you'll earn a silver dollar. All the YN has to do is to complete their project. Again, this is something that a local coin club could do. The Ancient Coin Project is for the older, more experienced collector. And again, it's a matter of competing completing certain requirements, and you'll receive an ancient coin for doing that work. ANA also has the Early Copper Coin Project, where they offer early US copper coins such as the half cents or large cents to the young collector. All these are for the asking, as long as you're able to complete the requirements. From my research, it's apparent that ANA fully realizes the youngsters are the key to the growth of the hobby, and that they try to do everything that they can to support youngsters in learning this great hobby that we love. All in the ANA projects on this slide can be found on their website, money.org. Simply look for the YN area, click on the programs. You would be amazed at the depth and the material that ANA has put up on their website. So you ANA-YN programs can participate in exclusive activities to collect free coins, learn about numismatics, bid in auctions, make friends in the YN program. ANA has done a lot of developing these programs for the young collectors. Coin clubs need to step up and develop marketing plans on how to direct the YC to the ANA and US Mint websites to learn more about coin collecting. They can also develop their own programs locally to encourage young and new collectors. Let's talk about the potential solutions to grow our hobby. Most collectors suggest roll searching and filling Whitman albums to start collecting, but we need more solutions. My wife and I bought Whitman books and rolls of coins for our grandchildren. It was very apparent to us, besides searching through rolls to find coins to fill albums, that they also wanted to know more about the history of the coins. But you have to be careful not to intimidate the young collector. Suggest you start with the Modern Washington Quarters series, since it's an easy to plug holes from the rolls without having to buy a lot of coins. The young people are interested in electronic devices, so the best way to fix the problem is to expand coin collecting to the digital platforms such as the dedicated blog on Facebook or the local club website. Our 4th and 5th grade grandchildren know how to access reference areas on a laptop or a tablet to learn about the design elements of a coin. They're also interested in hearing stories about finding difficult coins in my own personal collection. So just take the time and work with them. In many articles that I've read on this topic, several young collectors have expressed interest in some sort of a game where you get a reward for completing a set of coins. This would be a free coin for that folder or a free next folder. My local coin club is in the process of implementing this program, and it's been well received by the first couple young collectors that we've approached. We need to also act now and come up with innovative ways to make coin collecting more popular and target younger generations through technology, social media, and make coin collecting more interactive. That should bring more interest in coin collecting with the younger generation. Coin collecting, whether for investment or fun, requires patience and commitment, which are not really qualities younger children possess. So a good way to help maintain a child's interest is to find collectible coins that match their interest. If they're interested in a specific foreign country or in world history, there's your target. World foreign coins can also be the exciting link to their to the various cultures. My local coin club has a program where we sit down with young or new collectors at our 2 annual coin shows, and we basically show them world US coins and get out a book, show them the map, spend that time so that they understand where those countries are located. And talk a little bit about the history of what that coin means to the country. So when they leave the table, they walk away with their own coin with a better understanding of the history behind the coin. What can we do to grow the hobby? We need to be more creative, finding ways to reach those who might find rare coins appealing. We need better local marketing targeted at young collectors. Look at what NGC has done at the Smithsonian Institute to exhibit coins to encourage people to collect rare coins. Excluding last year, over 4.6 million people visit the museum each year, and many of these are children. We have to leave the mass media marketing to the large coin companies who spend millions of dollars every year trying to entice consumers to purchase rare coins. We can help by providing educational material to these new and young collectors, which increases the chance they will stick with our hobby. My own Madison Coin Club is now considering creating similar programs to what ANA offers for the collectors, along with appropriate advertising. Providing an area on Facebook for younger collectors to share information and perhaps sell or trade coins. They are also looking at their own website for a section dedicated to the young collector. Unfortunately, with what's happened with COVID in the last year, not a lot of progress has been made, but that is still on the agenda for this coming year. The challenges will be to use the tools, the internet, to attract new collectors and not just the existing collector in the coins club. The industry collectors, grading services, and many others, it is crucial for everyone to focus on growing our hobby. No one should take the future for granted. The world is littered with individuals in industry who fail to recognize that if you're not moving forward, you are going backwards. Nothing ever stays the same. If you are a stakeholder to the hobby, and that includes anyone who collects coin, we must make a commitment to grow the hobby. The field of coin collecting is wonderful, but it can always be better. Passing our enthusiastic passion along to the next generation of collectors is a real thrill. We can continue to preach to the choir, but now is the time to fill the pews with new folks. I hope this presentation has added to your knowledge and brought awareness to growing our hobby. I've covered lots of solutions and encourage you to take them back to your coin clubs, and especially the local dealers. That's really the importance. And if you can get them involved in working on a marketing strategy, you'll be successful. Coin clubs need to develop that relationship with dealers to help develop a marketing plan and implement programs to develop more awareness with the young collector and the new collector. Thank you. Let's open it up to Q&A, Matthew. Let me pop a couple of slides here. And let me on share.
All set. All right, just a quick reminder that you can use the Q&A feature on your device to submit questions. We already have a couple started, so we'll get to as many of these as we can. All right.
Okay.
Starting off, do you believe the markup over face value of youth U.S. mint products is reasonable?
In some cases, uh, in some cases it is, and I know they've gone through, but with what the Mint has done with the last two price increases in the past, effectively the past 8 months to 12 months, I know there's a lot of senior collectors that are stepping away because of the prices have gone up so much. So it is a good question.
Absolutely. Another question coming in. Where does the Boy Scout Merit Badge program fit into this topic? So assuming, I guess, are there, do you know of programs where as Boy Scouts like reached out or have done like coin collecting?
You know what? I'm not sure. It would not surprise me if there was a merit badge for coins, for collectibles, but I am not aware. But that brings up a great area. And if there is, and my hunch there probably is, you can reach out through your local Boy Scouts at the district level or even a local level. There's a good opportunity there. It's a great question. I just don't have any information on that.
Oh, it sounds like a great insight. At the stamp museum, they give out free stamps and they have them on a huge table that you can pick from. There should be something similar to this in like a National History Museum. Do you think there are certain coins that would be more like appealing to like a young collector, or if they were to have something like this?
I think that it would be beneficial. And it really depends, as I'm learning with our granddaughter, it really depends. Our granddaughter is all excited about world coins because in her history class, they're focused on is world history. And the instructor is just constantly bringing world coins in. Our grandson, he likes the US stuff. So I like that idea. A coin club could easily put out a display like that to give to the collector. The Madison group chose to sit down with them at our with the new collector and show them the world map and try to tie in and provide that history like I mentioned.
Absolutely. I think tying in a lot of the stories that come with a lot of these coins sort of provides a nice entry level to it, at least as someone who is still trying to break into it myself.
And we've had our success, again, with that connection to the local coin dealer. Some of the collectors in the club have donated the coins to the chairman that's running that event, but it's the local dealer that has provided numerous quantities of foreign. Right now we're focused on foreign coins. Later the shift is at the shows is to shift to some US and then bounce back and forth as we do our two shows. And it's a great opportunity to provide, let them pick. You let them pick what they like and then do the education with them.
Absolutely. Following up with this, in terms of like, do you think there are good ways to get involved with like local clubs or work with like schools to use coins in like history, geography, and possibly like art lessons? So tying that into some of these other pre-existing clubs and sort of showing the different aspects of coin collecting.
Yes, I do. I think that's really a great idea. The more when you sit around, and when I did a similar presentation to our club a year and a half ago, it led to a half-hour discussion, and that's a great idea. That's really a great idea, and that's why you need that larger input and different ideas, and then let the smaller steering committee take and rank and pick the ones that make the most sense. It really is a good idea, tying it to the schools.
Absolutely. Do you have any suggestions for dealers, such as keeping a bin of circulated but interesting domestic and foreign coins that are within a child's budget?
I there still is interest in pennies and in seeing the recent change, recent being 10 years ago, seeing some of the changes. I think dealers can do a lot in the pennies, nickels, and quarters. There are some, and grade is not the important thing here. The grade can be really low to make it affordable for the young collector. I think that's a great idea. You can bring in some Indian head cents, some standing liberty items, and yeah, it really. I think keep it as, give lots of opportunity for different areas. There's not one or two that I would focus on, but it's a great idea for a dealer to to target like that on a table where it's easy for the kids to see.
Absolutely. Do you think a hands-on coins program would work with young numismatists at a local coin show? Looks like the prime idea is like providing the opportunity to strike your own coins.
Oh, that's a great idea. That is, in fact, that's worth taking back. Strike your own. Yes, I really do. We found, because as we talked through and what we started the two shows before COVID hit, when we set up at the missions table, a side table where we had several individuals that would sit down and let the kids pick a coin and then get out the maps and go through and give some history. Of course, it was challenging because some of the guys had to do some extra work on history. But yeah, I do. It worked very, very well, and I really, that engagement with the students, and you create that interest, I think it's the great thing to do. We have had an attendance issue with the younger collectors, but when we get a younger collector in the meeting, the president adjusts the agenda to spend that time talking, letting that individual, those young collectors, talk about what they're collecting. We do a show and tell, and believe me, you want to see a kid light up, have them bring something from their collection to talk about. And we give 1,000% encouragement.
I love that. Now, a personal question just for me. So obviously using the stories and a lot of these like hands-on elements to start to bring people like into the coin collecting, where would you suggest like the young generation who really wants to start looking into like grading and like becoming more dedicated to their collection as they sort of transition from this being like just like a slight interest or a new hobby to like a more substantial collection? Where would you suggest they like either like look into for like recommendations on grading or any like websites or places
Sure.
in particular you'd recommend?
I would go back and encourage them to work both the ANA website for some information. There is a wealth of knowledge on the U.S. Mint website. And you know, I spent a little time on it, but there is so much buried in some of the sub menus that they could to add to their experience. I'm not aware, there is some basic grading information in the NGC website. I don't know about the other grading companies, but there is a little bit of information there. We have had some students, young collectors ask, and we've had some of the members pass along old copies, you know, within, you know, that are a month old or 2 month old of Coin World to help, or if they have a special topic they're interested in understanding grading, then, you know, we'll try to match them up with one of the smaller dealers. We have found that works a little bit better rather than the bigger dealers.
I really like that. That's really great. Following, looks like please not comments, but at least some other audience members confirming that sort of a strike your own program has been successful in their experience. So sounds like it's a pretty promising one.
Hey, thank you for that. You know, that's really good. And that really is the key. The more people, you know, to generate those ideas, and that would get a lot of interest. Yeah, I like that idea.
Do you think that major coin auction houses and grading companies should support local coin clubs in creating more interest? And I'll follow that up with, like, if so, how would you think they would go about that?
The answer, the first part of that is yes. I think a lot, you know, can happen by providing support for new and younger collectors. How to make that happen? That's the really good thing. Um, um, that's a great topic, and I'm thinking through what type of marketing support they could provide, or research material, because auction houses have tremendous databases on researching because of all the varieties of topics that they've covered. If that could be put into some fashion of a package to go to the dealers, I like the idea. It's how do you make that happen? And, you know, there's that big separation between the national magazines, the large national dealers, and the auction houses. How do we get that tied to the local? That sounds like a brainstorming type meeting topic at a national convention to try to dig in and put something together.
Absolutely. So we've had a couple of posts here referring to a coin subreddit on the website Reddit that is used primarily for buying and selling, and has thousands of members. And I'm going to tie this into I'm sure there are various other like methods that people use to like trade coins online, and I was curious on your thoughts on like how those are implemented to, like, for a younger generation. Does this feel like a more appealing way to trade coins now, similar to how like a lot of people are trading in like stocks and investing through like more through apps or like online means? Do you think this could be used as a way to appeal to a younger audience, or?
I really do. Much to my surprise, we have a couple of active young collectors in our group, and they have requested an area on our club website to where they could do buy and sell. And I think that would caught some of us by surprise. But that allows them, an area to themselves. That's one of the things that we're trying to do, is to set up a section on the website just for the young collectors, and let them do the dialogue. And
Absolutely. All right, as we begin to wrap up here, we might have time for just a couple more questions. But I did want to ask if you had any parting words for the audience, or any recommendations.
My parting words would basically be, get the local clubs, bring that interest up, and approach the small coin dealers as well as the ones that have the brick and mortar stores, and work together and get them involved, and trying to put some things together to encourage the younger collectors. And although we focused a lot at the young collectors, what you've got to look at is those that are in their 30s now, and they are at a point in their career that they're looking for get back into a hobby, and opening up and doing the local advertising to try to bring back in those people in that age group, to kind of reignite their interest.
Absolutely.
Thank everybody. It's been fun.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for tuning in to this hour. Truly a great presentation by Delmar, and very insightful on just recognizing where we're at with the youth program, and offering some great solutions to look into that going forward. In any case, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here, but we'll be starting our next presentation right at 12 o'clock, at least Eastern Standard Time, and we will catch all of you at the next presentation.
All right. Have a good day, Matt. And everybody else, have a good day. Be safe. Support your local dealers.
Absolutely.